Good morning, grade 8. This is your day. I would like to welcome everyone to the McCarthy Middle School Grade 8 Award Ceremony. This award ceremony is being held in the memory of your fellow classmate, Charles Carmillo. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Charlie, you are forever in our hearts. We remember. Today we are here to celebrate the accomplishments and the hard work of this year's 8th grade class. Your growth and maturation has been astounding. We have witnessed you grow from timid, reticent young 5th graders into confident, competent young adults. We are proud of each and every one of you for your own individual reasons. This class is a special class. No class has ever finished their 4-year McCarthy career in a remote, hybrid, and in-person/remote learning environment for their last 15 months of middle school. Despite the circumstances you have faced, this class has risen to the occasion. These past 2 weeks, I have heard over and over again how wonderful this class is. I want to personally thank all of you for meeting our challenge of following COVID protocols and living up to our pride expectations by respecting each other, your school, and yourselves by being the very best you can be. Our staff members have prepared you all to move on. Most of you have internalized values and the skills your teachers, including your greatest teachers, your parents, have instilled in you. While some of you have experienced much success here at McCarthy, some of you are still growing and finding your path. What I truly hope is that you have all learned something from the decisions you have made while here at McCarthy. Yes, your journey at McCarthy is ending. However, in the grand scheme of things, your life journey is still in its infancy, with much growth ahead of you. You will have many opportunities as you enter high school and young adulthood. You will be faced with many decisions. My hope is that you will walk away from McCarthy being able to make good decisions on your individual journeys. You are ready. Today, we have Rachel Lumiere, who sat in your seats just 4 years ago. She is graduating as a member of the CHS class of 2021. Rachel recently was awarded a scholarship as a former McCarthy student. She is off to University of Massachusetts Lowell to study engineering. She's here to share some advice with you. Come on up, Rachel.
Good morning, class of 2025, parents, guardians, and staff. I am honored to be here speaking in front of you all today. My name is Rachel Lumiere, and I am a 2021 graduate from Chelmsford High School. First of all, I'd like to congratulate our 8th grade class for all of their hard work and accomplishments. As a graduating high school senior, I was sitting in your seats just 4 years ago. The next 4 years during your high school years are going to fly by, and soon, one of you will be standing up here. There will be many lessons you will learn along the way, and I'm here today to offer some advice on how to become the best version of yourself during your high school years. Going into Chelmsford High School can be scary, and it is completely normal to be nervous. It is a much larger school, and there are double the amount of students. Plus, you'll be the youngest ones there. However, this opens the door for new opportunities. You all have the opportunity to meet some lifelong friends and have more independence. Just like here at McCarthy, at CHS, you'll meet amazing staff who will help guide you and have a smooth transition into high school. You'll also have an upperclassman as a mentor who will directly work with you to answer any questions you may have. One of the best ways to meet students of all grades is through extracurricular activities. Whether it is through sports, clubs, or societies, you'll be getting more of your time at CHS if you get involved. I am a two-sport varsity athlete playing softball and volleyball, as well as being a part of numerous clubs and societies. Some of my favorite memories from my time at Chelmsford High School were staying at school late at night for clubs and sports. These have included setting up the field for senior night and, of course, the late-night bus rides back to CHS after we've won a big game. It is those memories that I'll forever cherish, and if I had not put myself out there my freshman year, I never would have created those memories. I challenge you all to join at least one extracurricular activity. You will meet some amazing people, and we'll be trying something new. At CHS, all of your classes will be leveled, which is different compared to here at McCarthy. Some of you will be taking the most difficult classes you have ever taken. My junior year, I took AP Biology, which is a college-level course. I have been a straight-A student my entire life, and I was getting hundreds on every assignment in AP Biology. My first test in AP Biology, I got a 65. It was the first time in my life that I did not pass a test. Plus, I was getting a false sense of security from all my assignments, since I was getting hundreds. At this point, I had two options. I could drop out of the class and lose college credits, or I could remain resilient. I chose the second option. I regularly met with my teacher, and we came up with a plan in order for me to be successful in her class. If I never reached out to my teacher, I never would have received the help that I needed. Regularly working with her allowed me to succeed in a college-level class. When you struggle in a class, I challenge you all to not give up, to reach out to your teacher to set up your own plan for success. You might just surprise yourself on what you are capable of. In the past 3 years, Chelmsford High School has partnered with Middlesex Community College to offer dual enrollment courses right at CHS. During my senior year, I took 2 dual enrollment classes, and I took 1 my junior year. I highly recommend taking some dual enrollment classes during your time at CHS. You'll be graduating high school with college credits that you'll be able to transfer to specific universities if you choose to further your education after high school. You'll save money in the long run and already be exposed to college-level classes. High school truly does fly by. It doesn't matter what others think of you. You will find your group of friends to have fun with. High school's too short to try and impress others to be a version of yourself that you are not. Do not stress the small things because in the long run, you will get through. 8th graders, we are all so proud of you and cannot wait to see what you accomplish in your high school years. Do not be afraid to put yourself out there. Do not be afraid to try something new. And do not be afraid to raise your hand first in class. I challenge you to say hello to a new person on your first day of high school, and I challenge you to make the most out of your 4 years at Chelmsford High School because they will be over faster than you think. I would like to thank you all for having me here today to help celebrate the class of 2025. Congratulations, 8th graders.
All right, we're really not going to start that, guys. Not today. Thank you, Rachel. That is very wise advice indeed. Today, as I already mentioned, we will recognize a number of students for their accomplishments this year. At this point, we will start with the presentation of awards. We'll start with specialist awards, and we'll start with student support services. So, Mrs. Sorrentino and Ms. Brazil, if you want to come on up.
Yes! Good morning, 8th graders. My name is Ms. Sorrentino,
and I am the 7th and 8th grade literacy specialist and literacy support teacher. You've all made it to the end of a year that will go down in the history books. That P for perseverance in our PRIDE acronym is something that each one of you has displayed during the challenging end of 7th grade and 8th grade years, so congratulations to all of you. The Literacy Support Awards I'm giving today go to 2 remarkable students. What makes them remarkable is their work ethic, their drive to improve academically, and the very significant gains they've each made in reading, which will ensure that their high school years will be successful for the groundwork that they've laid while here at McCarthy. The 2 recipients of the Literacy Support Special Recognition Awards today are Mary Wambu and Seamus O'Neill. Congratulations. Congratulations, Seamus. Here you are.
Next, I'd like to welcome up members of our music department.
All right, hello 8th grade. Congratulations to everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mr. Wright. I've had several of you over the past 4 years, and I'm lucky enough to teach our 8th grade band. You're going to hear a lot this morning about perseverance and overcoming and struggle and all of those things. But I'd like to take a little bit of a different stance when we look back at this year on our ability to find out a little bit more about ourselves. We were in isolation for a long time. A lot of you spent time distanced through screens and engaging with other students virtually. Without that physical connection, right, to others, without being around others, without having that community, it was extremely impressive for me to witness students' abilities to find themselves as far as what their interests are, what their passions are, find out a little bit more about, how they can grow and independently work and improve themselves. I saw that in a majority of our students this year, especially in 8th grade. It's not an easy year to be fully remote. The amount of things that usually happen throughout this year that you weren't able to experience, the fact that you were able to still create a positive change in yourselves and in your community is something to be applauded. So congratulations to that. And if I get more specific in my class, I'd like to talk about 2 students that demonstrated that very thing in 2 different ways. I'm going to recognize both of them, so I'm going to describe both of them, and they're pretty much opposites of one another. The first student, an incredibly empathetic and sweet, always on time, most of the time first to class, first to sign on, participated only when she felt was necessary, but also was always a diligent worker throughout her 4 years at McCarthy in extra ensembles, kind of a wallflower a little bit in the background, but always reliable, incredibly talented, worked very hard, and did it for herself. Found a passion in music, enjoyed it, and really developed it not for the sake of necessarily just being around friends or just being a part of the band program, but because she enjoyed the art. The other student, very similar except for, is probably the loudest student I've ever taught. Probably the most talkative student I've ever taught. but also one of the most engaging students I've ever taught, and one of the most honest students I've ever taught. Very true to himself as well, unapologetic with who he is. You can butt heads with this student, but he always comes back and always looks to improve. Also, one of the most naturally gifted and talented musicians I've had the pleasure of teaching. Didn't have to do a lot of work teaching him how to play his instrument. He always improved on his own. So I would like to recognize both Sophia Miranda and Cademan Reevely.
Good morning. I'm Mrs. Slocum, and I teach the orchestra class. The first recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Orchestra Award is a young musician who has for years been composing and arranging their own songs. They have shared during Performance Fridays, quite often with their own arrangements and music. They've performed solos at McCarthy Idol, wowing the audience. During sectional work, they have always helped others and it's been fun watching the camaraderie that amongst the section over these past 4 years. They won a local scholarship for a year worth of private lessons, and his final composition in an orchestra project showed maturity in his composition skills. I know we'll be hearing from them musically in the future. Maybe not from them on stage, but when you look at the movies, music you're listening to, and all the shows you watch at Netflix and wherever else, look for those little lines composed by Joseph Evans. Congratulations, Joe. The second recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Orchestra Award goes to a young musician who has always been quiet and humble voice. They've participated in SIPSO and was a member of the Triumph. They've led sectionals while in person and during breakout rooms on meets with quietness and understanding and showing their knowledge and caring towards others. They excel on their instrument, adding so much to their ensemble with their exceptional musicality. It's an honor to give this award to Pranav Aburi.
Okay, good morning, 8th grade class. Congratulations on making it to this point. I have awards to give out for chorus. I am Mrs. Richardson, the chorus teacher here at McCarthy. For chorus, I'm actually going to call the student down and then read about them. So if I could have the following students come to the podium: Benjamin Grant and Emma Kelly. It is difficult in a class like this one to choose award recipients. Most of this year's class have been with me in chorus for 4 years. We've had many laughs, some tears, and beautiful performances. We are still mourning the loss of the last 15 months of singing together, concerts we should have had, field trips we should have been on, etc. As I look back over the 4 years, these two stood out as consistent in commitment, contribution, character, and quality. They are both wonderful human beings. Benny, it was evident from the beginning that you had a gift that needed to be used and shared. You have shined in chorus and in all the other extracurricular groups you have participated in: drama, select chorus, and McCarthy Idol. Keep singing. Emma, you also have a gift that needs to be shared, not just as a singer, but now you're demonstrating giftedness in writing music as well. I know you will make the world a better place with your music. Congratulations to both of you. And now for theater. I will do it in the same format. I do give theater awards, even though we haven't had traditional theater the way we're used to in the last couple of years. But I'd like to call the following students to the podium for the theater awards: Hattie Aldea and Charlie Brennan. Hattie's theater career here at McCarthy started off huge. He earned the lead role of James in James and the Giant Peach his 5th grade year. What he lacked in physical height, he made up for in personality, confidence, and command of the stage. Okay, that was only a little bit funny. In 6th grade, he was cast as Daniel's father in Once on This Island, a smaller role than Hattie prefers, but he performs with all the presence and power he brings as a leading actor. In 7th grade, Hattie returned to the leading role as Ugly in Honk, the story of the ugly duckling. What was to be a spectacular performance was abruptly taken away 1 week before we opened. We were sent off to quarantine, and the disappointment was brutal. This year, in the vacuum created by not being allowed to perform on the stage, we had our first, and I certainly hope last, virtual production. Though it was not going to be at all like what we were used to, Hattie dug in anyway, leading the production as Google, the devious mind controller. This was not easy. It was not an easy year, and I know everybody's going to say that. We all had our own personal struggles. But when you look forward to all the things that happen in your 7th and 8th grade year and all the dreams, and to have them dashed, it's really, really difficult. But I know that his tenacity and perseverance will survive through high school, and I look forward to watching Hattie continue to rule the stage as he moves to CHS. Charlie has been involved in drama club since 5th grade as well. In James, he was ensemble in James and the Giant Peach, right? I forgot to look that up. I'm sorry, I was supposed to look that up this morning. Each year, the role he earned was bigger than the year before. He was a storyteller in Once on This Island, Captain Greylag, the fearless leader of the squadron of geese in Honk, and as I said before, it was the show that never was. This year, persevering through that disappointment, Charlie landed his first lead role as Taylor, the cat video-loving TikTok addict who kept interrupting his best friend, who was just trying to finish her Gatsby paper. I am super proud of Charlie and the growth he has demonstrated as an actor. I am confident that he'll be on that stage at the PAC a lot in the next 4 years. Well done, Mr. Brennan.
Next, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Kiley from our art department.
Thank you so much. All right, this microphone's not fair. You know I'm kind of vertically challenged. All right, but I'm loud, so I don't need it. Good morning, McCarthy community. I am Mrs. Kiley, the 7th and 8th grade art teacher here. I have had all of you for the last 2 years. You have been just a joy to have in class, whether it's the physical class or the virtual class. I am always so proud of your effort, your tenacity, your willingness to just kind of, if anything, laugh when we laugh and smile back at me when I ask you to be positive. I'm going to be giving some awards this morning, and I'm going to start with the Effort Award. This young lady is somebody who comes to class always prepared. Her tenacity is amazing. She always participates no matter which type of classroom we have, and her work ethic is above and beyond. She attacks everything that I present with just amazement, and I'm super proud to award this year's 2021 Effort Award to Amanda Boulogne. Congratulations. Hug it out. Good job. So this past fall, I was very fortunate to take a class in social and emotional learning, and although I'm a lifelong learner, I have to say there was a lot of things that I was like, oh yeah, I agree with, I already kind of learned all this, but there was something that I was super kind of taken back by, and the first thing the teacher said was, in the last year in 2020, employees were asked to rate the most important skills that they need from their employees. And some of those skills were like take initiative, technical skills, effectively communicating in writing and in speaking, strong work ethic, leadership. But the most important, number one skill of all was creative problem solving. So this creativity award goes to somebody who is exactly that. They're extremely creative. I always love the quote by Einstein, creativity is intelligence having fun. Creativity is needed in all areas of study in order to problem solve. You have to go through it in a creative kind of step-by-step method. Order of operations, as the math teachers would say. We have that same process in the visual art room. This student is extremely creative. She has the most brilliant mind I think I've ever actually been fortunate to teach in all the years that I've been here at McCarthy. And the last thing is, creativity takes courage. So, as you heard from our beautiful CHS graduate, Rachel, go out there and be courageous. And I have to say, Hannah Gemelli, you are the most creative student I think I've ever had. So, congratulations. This final award goes to a student who I have to say that no matter what I've assigned, she attacks it with a smile on her face, every single genre. I keep thinking to myself, I'm going to present something to her that she just can't do. Well, she's proven me wrong for the last 2 years. No matter what the medium was. It was clay. She's like, no problem. It was design, drawing, painting. It didn't matter. She just attacked everything with tenacity, with the most positive mindset, always smiling. I learned last night at the 8th grade dance that she can even make origami out of dollar bills and made rings for her friends. I mean, brilliant, right? So, her time management skills, organization, exceptional ability that she has to put immense detail and hard work into everything she does is why this student excels in art. 2021 Excellence in Art goes to Alice Spiller.
Next, I'd like to invite up Mrs. O'Meara from Technology Engineering, Mrs. Germain from Health, and Mr. Graham from PE.
All right. All right. Good morning, engineers. Thank you, Mr. McPhee. So I am Miss O'Meara, Tech Engineering, and I first want to say what a pleasure it has been to have each and every one of you in Tech Engineering. So engineers design, build, and collaborate and turn dreams into reality. The Tech Engineering Special Recognition Awards go to the McCarthy engineers who embody the spirit of engineering by their effective and efficient problem solving, collaboration, patience, persistence, and creativity. And this year, especially in term 4, we not only went from remote learning, where you were learning on the TV, and I was trying to be engaging for all 50 of you on the screen, we ended up coming back into the classroom where we couldn't touch anything. So we were still kind of remote, but kind of in person. And then the last part of our term 4, we were able to start using equipment. And you all, especially in term 4, were brave enough and said, yeah, let's give this a try. And even though we hadn't touched the equipment all year, we jumped into the last project, and you wired, you communicated with one another, and you programmed to get our motors and sensors working. And these 2 students especially, having no experience because we were remote even before then, they helped out their fellow classmates to get things going. There was always a group around them both. So this year's Tech Engineering Special Recognition Award goes to Sophia Roy and Spencer Forgan. I am very proud of these 2 students and all of you McCarthy engineers. I want to thank you for a great 8th grade, and keep engineering.
Good morning. Congratulations, 8th grade. With this 8th grade class, I'm going to retire 3 things from PE. No more rules cahoots, no more sock basketball, and no more rackets made out of cardboard. Moving forward. All right, each year physical education gives 2 special recognition awards to students for their accomplishments and outstanding effort in physical education. While each of these recipients display outstanding athletic skills, they also display exceptional character. Qualities such as cooperation, enthusiasm, leadership, and a strong work ethic. This year, we have 2 exceptional students receiving this award. The first award will go to a student who is an accomplished athlete who is enthusiastic in all physical education activities. She led by example in PE class with a high standard of effort, sportsmanship, and teamwork. She is competitive and wants to do well, but finds a balance in having fun and making people around her feel relaxed. She is kind and provides support for the successes of others. Her willingness to encourage classmates when needed is one of her best attributes. Amaya Malona. This next student has been one of our most consistent students over the past 4 years. He is a skilled athlete, but his best qualities are his enthusiasm and his leadership. He is always willing to participate with his best effort in all activities. He encourages and supports his classmates. He looks for opportunities to help classmates and staff whenever possible. He stands as a shining example of how students can work hard, be competitive, and still be a supportive teammate and friend. Jack Donovan.
Okay, I have 2 awards to go today. So this first award goes to one of the boys. This young man is a conscientious student who always puts his best foot forward. He always turns his work in on time with a high level of quality and effort. He's fun to have in class, but knows when he can joke around and knows when it's time to get to work. He is diligent, genuine, kind, and inquisitive. I think one of this student's greatest strengths is his strong work ethic. He values each learning opportunity by actively participating in all lessons and contributing to all class discussions. I can always count on him to be one of the first to volunteer and ask insightful questions which lead to interesting conversations about topics we discuss in class. I know he'll do great things in his future. This award goes to Jason Dew. Okay. This student has shown amazing commitment to her learning. She faces everyday challenges head-on and has truly taken advantage of getting the most out of her education. Term 4, she showed her ability to adapt during her transition from hybrid student to a fully remote student. She did not let being remote stop her from participating in class discussions, asking questions, or sharing her work with the class. She's a hard worker who welcomes feedback with a positive attitude and often goes above and beyond without being prompted. She's always polite and courteous to teachers and peers. One thing I will always remember is her saying hello when joining every class and thank you and have a nice day when leaving. I'm confident she'll do well in high school. Congratulations, Haley Graybill.
Next, I'd like to invite up the last category of our specialist awards, our world language teachers. You guys want me to go first? Okay.
Bonjour les amis. I'm Mr. Cantor. I'm the French teacher. Comment ça va? So as a words guy, I've got to acknowledge that there's people that went before me that were better with words than I am. So a great man once said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. A great woman once said, we do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. So I'm thinking of my students while I'm saying this. So Mr. Cantor in The Gladiator said, are you not entertained? Another great man in the making said, je m'appelle, and then he spelled his name about 1,000 different ways after choosing the name Guillaume, just to keep himself entertained. My first award goes to a guy who truly loves language, and it's a remarkable thing to me. I would say he's a rare, intellectually curious student with regard to language and exploring other languages and cultures. So I really want to say I appreciate you, and I want to give you a hats off for being attentive, curious, and a thoughtful student. My first award goes to William Manganus. Okay, so moving from Will the Wordsmith to another William the Wordsmith, I was thinking of this second student through Shakespeare, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. I'm really going to miss these two guys and all of my students. Really, this was a difficult decision in such a challenging year to choose, the creme de la creme from French class. I'm going to miss all of you guys. I would say my next student played their role well. Some days they were an actor. Some days they showed their passion for dancing across the Google Meet when I had students dance and most cameras went off, but this person danced their heart out. Some days they were a poet. All days an excellent writer and grammarian. All days of the pandemic, they were fully present with a great attitude and a smile on. I'd say all days they were a leader and an encourager, and most of all, just a kind person overall. This student is Akil Dantum. So congratulations, Akil recently put on his artist hat and sketched a French breakfast from his home classroom as well. He was the creme de la creme. His smile across countless Google Meets for a year and a half brought me so much joy and encouragement. I would say that during difficult periods like we've just gone through, it really gives people a chance to shine. And Akil really did that. He's the type of student that can catch kind of an experimental lesson plan, catch the idea of it, and help other students like understand where you're trying to go. I would say language is for communication. Akil is a communication and language leader. We'd play a game sometimes, or more of an activity where I'd put a French song or a rap out there for students to see how many words they could catch hold of. And it'd be like, okay, I'll make up some names. Okay, Jeff, how many words you got? Okay, I heard 10. How many words do you have? 2. Okay, I got 15. All right, Akil, how many words did you get? I have like 56. So, congratulations, Akil. I will make sure this gets in the right hands. Thank you, guys.
Buenos dias. Me llamo Señora Kelly Selesky. I'd like to commend all of you for your perseverance during a difficult moment in history, and to thank you for the kindness and patience you demonstrated while some teachers, like me, occasionally blew out your eardrums. This year you were sometimes the teachers, and I learned a lot with your help, so thank you. It's always fun to surprise unsuspecting students at this annual ceremony, and I am willing to bet that my first candidate will be quite surprised. As a 7th grader, the student had a bit of an attitude. I recall her saying something like, "I don't know how to speak Spanish." Of course, that's the point, isn't it? It's your teacher's job to break it down, to encourage you, to help you tackle a new language. She was rather reluctant, but as we all struggled through a difficult 2 years, this student's work has shown real growth, and I believe she has developed some confidence. Coincidentally, just yesterday in the classroom, she was saying Spanish words out loud and pronouncing them correctly. Please continue your studies with confidence because you can do it. Por favor, ven aquí, Madeline Min. Both in person and online, my next student actively participates in our Spanish class. He always arrives with hola and leaves with adios. He answers and asks questions in Spanish. His work is exacting. He has tremendous vocabulary and grammar recall. And I'm confident that he will continue his Spanish studies for years to come. Buen trabajo. Eres un académico, señor. Felicitaciones, buena suerte, Cole Shuffus.
Buenos días. Buenos días. Gracias. Okay. Oh, here's my paper. All right. So my first award, this young lady was new to me this year. And the start of the year, as we all know, wasn't ideal. And even though I didn't get to see her face or hear her voice, her online work was always completed on time and well done. When we returned to school, she didn't disappoint. She perked up and was an active class participant, raising her hand to answer questions, and again, always doing a fantastic job completing assignments. I wish her much luck in high school and look forward to hearing about her future accomplishments. This award goes to Jenna Nigro. Oh, Jenna, here. Okay. My second award goes to a student who I also had last year. And from the first day of class last year, she was an active participant, and I don't ever think I remember not seeing her smile. This year, I was lucky enough to see her in person in Mr. Sullivan's class each morning, and she showed the same eager attitude in his class as I had seen the previous year. She worked hard online and in person, and even though she had a mask on, I could still see the smile in her eyes. She was a pleasure to have in class, and CHS is lucky to have her next year. Congratulations, Elizabeth Falcone. They spelled her name wrong, I gotta fix it. Okay, I'm not taking the award back. All right, my last award is also a student that I had last year. He came to me excited to learn Spanish, and last year he consistently completed assignments and was an active participant in all class activities. He was really excited to do them all. He would always laugh at my punny humor and sometimes offer his own to the class. This year, like many other online students, he wasn't eager to speak out online, but when we returned to school, he was back at it, participating and being the active student he was last year. I know he will be successful at Chelmsford High School and beyond. Great job, Xander. Xander Green.
That concludes our specialist awards. The next section of awards are from team content areas. So I'd like to invite up the 8th grade English language arts teachers, English language arts teachers at this time. Thank you.
Good morning. Okay. Hi, I am Mrs. Courtney, Team 8-1's ELA teacher, and I want to start off just by saying that each and every one of you in this room are deserving of recognition. This is a year that will go down in history and was a year where you were forced to be really uncomfortable. For a time, you lost your sports, clubs, activities, time with friends and relatives, and in-person learning. Many of things that bring you joy and make you feel like your best self were put on hold, but you kept going. Whether it was a major struggle for you or went surprisingly okay, you persevered. This was not a typical 8th grade year, and yet you did it. You moved forward and you made it. So to all of you, well done. We are proud of you, and you certainly should be proud of yourselves. The two recipients of this year's ELA Awards are both outstanding students. They are hardworking, mature, and diligent. And while many students struggled this year toggling between remote and in-person learning, these students remained focused and didn't miss a beat. During a global pandemic with things changing all around us, these students have maintained the same unwavering, serious approach to their academics and have continued to shine. They are organized, adaptable, and unstoppable, and I am thrilled that I've had the honor of being a small part of their academic journey. The first ELA award goes to a student who has truly been a pleasure to have in class. Each day he would arrive, whether remote or in person, prepared and ready to go. While his class could get a little silly, this student remained focused. His grades were outstanding, his writing superb, and I think he held the highest iReady score on our team. I know that this student will continue to grow and achieve with so many wonderful things next year and beyond. The sky is the limit, and we cannot wait to hear all that Michael Cunningham accomplishes. Proud of you, buddy. Amazing. Okay. The second ELA award goes to a student who surprised us this year. Although new to McCarthy, she had no trouble fitting in and standing out. This student was always eager to participate, to make a connection, to share a personal story, or otherwise engage in class. She always completed what was asked of her and gave every task, no matter how big or small, her full effort. Her work ethic is reflected in the high grades she received. She is confident, driven, smart, and has really stood out as a leader in the classroom. I know that she will continue to shine in high school. Honora, come on up.
Good morning. So this morning I asked my homeroom students if they were ready for my poetry lesson, and a look of horror flashed upon their faces. I wasn't lying. So I'm going to read a poem, and then I'm going to call up the two stars. When you're old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read. And dream of that soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. And how many loved your glad grace, and loved you with a love that was false or true. But one man loved that pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly of how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. These two students are absolute stars. They have faced adversity during a really tough, hard year, and I really congratulate their excellence in English language arts. They are Ashani Dave and Chloe Bentley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ms. Sarignano, and I am a long-term substitute here at McCarthy. I've only been here one term, but I can just say that my experience here has been lovely, and all the students I have taught from 8th grade to all the way down to 7th grade has been amazing. Your perseverance, your strength, your effort has not gone unnoticed, and I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. I have filled in for Mrs. Kalabakis, who retired, and I took over her English language arts class for term 4. And the two students that I want to recognize today have gone above and beyond. They've really made the class a joy. They are outspoken, they ask questions, they participate regularly, and their writing is phenomenal. They always, if I ask for 5 sentences, they give me 6 paragraphs. They're wonderful students, and I'm also lucky to say that they're in my homeroom as well. And even though they're both remote students, and I've hardly seen them, I'm lucky enough to say I can see their faces every day. So I would like to give special recognition to Sophia Trottier and Emma Kelly.
I'd like to welcome up members of our mathematics department.
Are you okay? Hello, everyone. What a year, right? We've been through remote, hybrid, and a bunch of other whatever things we've been doing. And we've been here part days, we've been here full days. For people who think that young people are not tough, you just showed them what you got. Yep. The evidence is right here, all of you. Nice job. All right? You all deserve credit for being tough and flexible every step of the way. I am super proud of all of you, and from now on, you'll be able to face life's many difficult things. Because you know you did it now, you're gonna do it again. You all have grit, determination, and anything it needs to succeed in this world. Congratulations. All right, so now to my awards. I can only give out 2, but if I could, I'd give it to every single one of you. Yep, okay. All right, so my first one. This student is an excellent mathematician. Did I mention I'm Mrs. Lucenti, the math teacher? Yeah, whatever. She has worked hard all year and always did her best with patience and determination. I'm proud to give the Team A2 Math Award to Samantha Blanco. All right, next up. All right. Well, as you can tell, this other student is also an excellent mathematician. She has proven time and again that hard work and determination pays off. I'm thrilled to give the Team 8-2 Math Award to Sophie Lamar. Congratulations to you all.
Good morning, everyone. I am Carol Scheinbart, and I am the 7th and 8th grade remote math teacher. I'd like to recognize 2 amazing students who were totally remote this year. These 2 students clearly demonstrated how successful remote learning can be. With a difficult 8th grade math curriculum, they both shined. No matter the assignment, they worked hard, were responsible, and were committed to their studies. My awards this year go to Lacia Madavida and Brendan Witten. Job well done.
Not a whole lot of slack. You might have to
No?
a little bit more.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
There we go.
Got a little slack on that right there? Nice. All right, here we go. All right, so 8th graders. All right. This is a unique situation for all of you. Every year we have different students that come in the building. Everybody has a different bag of tricks that they bring with them. This year, you all bring the same bag. You've been saddled with this COVID bag. You have a choice, okay, 8th grade? Don't let this pandemic define you. Don't let this be your excuse. Be the class that doesn't use an excuse, that rises above and powers through. For years to come, people will talk about the pandemic. They will talk about COVID. Be the class that makes people forget about COVID and about the pandemic. Don't be the class that leaves the excuse out there for people to use. Be better than that. You are special. You can do it. No rest. Remember, no rest. My first 8th grade award recipient came into my class the very first day, sat in the very first seat right in front of me. Nobody ever does that. Nobody. She sat there, quiet, looked right at me and said hi. She engaged me before I engaged her. And every day after that, she was always engaged. She always asked a question online and in person. And it wasn't, I don't understand or I don't get it. It was always how and why. She's a special young lady. She'll do great things in the near future. My first recipient is Bruna Mateos. Thank you, kiddo. My next award is given to a young lady who raised her hand every day, even online. She always had an answer to give, and she was confident, and she showed conviction. Her confidence showed through her mask every day. At one point this 4th term, I found myself making material harder and harder just to stump her. She always showed her work, and in her work she showed how bright she was. She is a leader, and she doesn't even know it. Kira, buongiorno! Congratulations, kiddo.
Thanks, pal. Next up, I'd like to invite members of the science department.
Hello, welcome, so excited, the last day of school, last day of 8th grade. I'm Mrs. Hill, I'm the science teacher on Team 8-1, and everybody said the same things over and over. You guys deserve so much credit, really, honestly, you guys got us through this. You know, your perseverance and hard work really just, you know, inspired the adults to keep going every single day. So I just want to quickly say this has been a difficult year in so many ways for all of us. I wish I could give awards. Every year I say this to each and every one of you guys. I swear I could come up with an award for everyone if we had the time and the resources. You've all done an amazing job this year. You've done amazing things. We've had easy days. We've had hard days. We've had fun. We've struggled. We've laughed. We've cried. I've cried a lot. Some of you have seen that. I've lost my temper. We've all lost our tempers. I apologize to anyone who was on the receiving side of that. It does not make me feel good. But we were all pushed to the limits this year, and I think it showed, and that's okay, right? But in the end, we persevered, and we made it through this ridiculous year. Thank you all for being so patient while your teachers fumbled with technology and tried to keep up with the endless demands of hybrid and remote learning. We appreciate your flexibility, kindness, and most of all, your sense of humor to laugh about the things we could not control. I have chosen 2 students to receive my Special Recognition and Science Award this year. The first student showed one of the most amazing work ethics I've ever seen. Much of this student's hard work wasn't obvious to everyone because it happened behind the scenes via email or Google messaging. But trust me when I say this student never gave up. No matter what was asked of her or how difficult the task was, she worked hard to accomplish it. She asked questions until she understood, she asked for help when she needed it, and most importantly, she took pride in her work. This student exhibited so much growth between September and June because she worked hard to succeed even during the most difficult of times. To this student, I want to say thank you for all you did this year. You are amazing. The Special Recognition and Science Award goes to Athena Chow. Okay, this one might be a tough one for me. I might be the first teacher who breaks down. My next Special Recognition in Science Award goes to someone who got me through this year. Teachers are here to help and motivate each and every one of our students. Some students accept the help, some don't. The student accepted my help and ran with it. The 2 of us worked together all year to keep her motivated through the good and the bad, and there was a lot of bad. What I think the student doesn't understand is that she helped keep me motivated as well. Her constant willingness to keep going and her kind words through sweet emails and thank you notes did more for me than she will ever know. I can't even read my words anymore. When I was pushed to my limits and ready to give up, she would swoop in and remind me of all the reasons why I needed to stay motivated. I need to thank the student for helping and motivating me all year long. This Special Recognition and Science Award goes to Madison Climo. Thank you guys, congratulations.
I'm already crying. Miss Hill made me cry. Now I'm gonna cry. Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh, sorry. I'm Mrs. Bonner. This year was hard, really, really difficult in so very many ways. I know I've said it to my classes already, but I'm so proud of everybody here, whether you're on Miss Hill's team, Miss McCarthy's team, my team. We usually get together a lot, and we didn't get to do that this year, and I really missed that part. But we did it. We made it. It felt impossible, but here we are. Throughout the year, I've often thought of Anna's song in Frozen 2 when she says, "Just do the next right thing. Take a step, step again. It's all that I can do, the next right thing." That's what life is. You have to just keep moving forward. As a teacher thrown into all of this and trying to teach in one way we hadn't before, with all these rules and technology that seemed to be constantly changing, it was hard. Teaching to a screen of black boxes and not seeing your beautiful faces or hearing your side conversations or laughter, not visually seeing your aha moments when you finally got something, it's draining. I found it to really suck the energy out of me. The last 6 or 7 weeks or so that we've been in school, it has just been so great just to be with you, to see you, to get to know you. I feel like I'm finally getting to know you, but now it's over. It's sad. I wish we had a do-over, but I'm also excited to see and hear all that you do in high school. Please keep in touch. And remember, I likely won't remember who you are unless you cover the bottom half of your face. Like legit, like I'm not gonna know, I'm so sorry next year if I see you. So thank you for sticking with it this year and for putting up with all of us teachers.
My first award goes to a student who I could always rely on to make remote teaching fun. I could always count on her to actually answer a question I asked or type something into the chat. In person, she kept the class lively and fun. Some might think maybe she was too chatty, but honestly, I couldn't get enough. Her conversations were usually on point. Her discussions and questioning show that she really has a science-oriented mind. She also had the best reaction to the one lab we did in person with pipe cleaners and pony beads when we went outside and they lit up in the colors and she was jumping up and down and, oh my gosh, look at that. And I was just like, yay! That's what I want science to be all year, and we finally got to it last week. She's responsible, she's dedicated, she's an amazing friend, and has a great sense of humor. This special recognition award in science for Team Awesome A2 goes to Zoe Moscato. This student comes to class each day eager, prepared, and ready to learn. He can always be counted on to help out, volunteer, and is always willing to ask questions, which of course is what science is all about. One question always leads to more and more questions, and this student truly has a scientific mind. Not only does he excel in science and his other classes and pursuits, but he is incredibly kind, mature, responsible, funny, and is a true leader within our class, which really helped out yesterday when we were struggling with tie-dyeing our shirts. I was so thankful to have him there to help out. This special recognition and science award for Team Awesome A2 goes to Joe Evans.
Hi, good morning, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, many of you do, my name is Miss McCarthy, and I just want to thank Miss Hill and Miss Bonner because those speeches were awesome, and what they said, I would love to be able to say. But this was a really difficult decision for me. I had a wonderful group of 8th graders this year. I feel like every one of you and all of you here did your best in what was a difficult year. So, I congratulate you all. The students I finally selected, I did so because they came to class with a positive attitude, and even when the curriculum was difficult, and maybe I made it so, they asked questions, they persevered, and we got through it. So I'm going to miss all of you next year, and I wish you all the best at the high school. But I'm going to, with difficult choice, I'm giving my awards to 2 great students, Chloe Arocco and Jonathan Laurent, and everyone, keep up the good work.
And our last content subject area is social studies. Come on down.
Whatever. Hey kids, how about that civics project? Thank you for working on it this year, though. We did learn a lot. It was our first year. You guys were great. And, there's a lot of food waste in this world that we know about now, but we took it seriously and built the plane while we were flying it and all that stuff. So thank you for that. Also, before I begin my awards, everybody in here needs to give a round of applause to Mrs. Bethel and Mrs. Germain. What those two pulled off over the last 2 weeks was unbelievable to give you guys those memories, okay? So, and before and finally 8-1 we did it. We got through the year, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you have the best 4 years in high school. In the immortal words of Napoleon Dynamite, I hope your guys' experiences are unforgettable, okay? In all seriousness, best of luck. Okay, first, Special Recognition Award for World History goes to a student that maintained an incredible grade point average throughout the entire year. His GPA was around a 99%, always tried his best to achieve success in the classroom, even though he made it seem effortlessly. Well, did it effortlessly. I'm not good with words. No excuses, no nonsense when it came to academic success. There's no doubt in my mind that he will continue to be successful next year and beyond. I think he will even be more successful, to be honest, once the masks are gone, even though it found its way under his chin on numerous occasions. Put your hands together for Jack Kiggins. And you know what? They did it wrong. This is the best part. They took it wrong. I'm going to fix this for you. Just go show it. That's hilarious. Good job, buddy. We put the wrong name on it. My second award for academic excellence in world history goes to a student who consistently did his best each and every day. This year, each day brought some new stress or issue, and he continued to work his way through. His average was sky high, and it never once wavered. Now, his work on the civics project made me weep tears of joy. If I'm being honest, it forced me to consider some changes in my life, such as renaming my kids after him. Perhaps that is a bit of an exaggeration, but he's a tremendous student and will go far in this world. Put your hands together for Alex Perez. All right, guys, how's everybody doing? I'm not going to go through everything that everybody said. I mean, you guys persevered through a lot of stuff this year, so great job. So my first Teammate 2 History Award. This student has earned a Special Recognition Award in History for their contributions in class this year. Not only has the student consistently maintained a high average throughout the year, but their love of history has been a constant in class all year long. The student's knowledge of history sometimes beats mine, and also their passion to share, which he's very passionate about, has been a welcome addition to class this year, whether it be in discussing content or plenty of off-topic conversations and trying to reel them back in. So it's an honor for me to present this Special Recognition Award in History to Frankie Yee. All right, so my second award goes to a student who also has sustained academic success all year long. But this student brought more than academic achievement to the classroom. You know, in the beginning of the year, pretty quiet in class, didn't really say a lot, but as the year moved along, became more vocal in the classroom, asked a lot of great questions, and became much more involved in classroom discussions. The student's comments during these discussions were well thought out and insightful, and it really added a lot to the discourse that was taking place. So it's an honor for me to present this Special Recognition Award in History to Salim Gadiri.
Hello, 8th grade. So some of you know that I normally teach 7th grade, so this year has been a super big change for me. And I just want to say thank you guys for your patience with me as I was learning my way through everything that I needed to teach you about. My two recipients of the History Award for our team are related. They were always asking questions throughout the year to the point where if I was not looking at my meat on the screen, I would recognize them by voice and know exactly who they were. My favorite was, you know, at the beginning of the year, our team started off remote, and we stayed that way until April 28th, when everybody returned to the building. And during the first couple weeks of school, what I found most entertaining about these two particular students is that they would bicker in the chat box with one another and go back and forth, and you know, sometimes I have to be like, okay, stop, like stop telling each other what to do. You know, they were kind of bossy. They continued to ask questions even when they returned back into the building, and I could always count on them to be good class participants as well. They tied for the highest average right down to the decimal point for me in class. So my two recipients are Matthew and Michael Sleeman.
That ends our content area awards. I'm going to invite members of the Fine Arts Department up right now. We're going to change the program a tad and to deliver our Excellence in Fine Arts Award.
Hi, friends. Okay, so many years ago, the fine arts staff, so as you guys know, the music department is band, chorus, and orchestra, and theater, and myself in art, we kept recognizing the same students. They kept being the same creative kids. And over we kept saying, wow, they're at the MicroFest, they're at the Boston Globe Festival for Arts, and it just kept being the same students over and over. So we finally put our big brains together with the administration and decided to thank you. I know the vertical challenge is just not fun. Thank you. Thank you. I'm on my toes. Okay. So we decided, it was about maybe 10 or 11 years ago, to create a Fine Arts Award. And every year it would be to a student who would excel on the music side of their creativity and their, just constant efforts, and on the art side. So I don't really like to be the tiebreaker, but every year these talented musicians, musical teachers, as well as Mr. Wright, would nominate students. And I would go through all these lists and go, oh my gosh, I can't decide. Then I'd have to go through and look at their work and look at grade point average, and it got really difficult. This year was the first year that as soon as the nominations came in, I went, bam, she's my winner. So I will let these wonderful, talented music teachers tell you why they are the recipient on the music end. On the art end, she's always prepared. Her work is perfection. She attacks everything with diligence and confidence. She's super positive, super kind to everyone, super helpful, and always willing to accept any challenge that I have provided. So, I can't give away the name yet. Hang tight.
Thanks, Mrs. Rowley. So, Kylie, too many crickets. In orchestra, especially in 5th and 6th grade class, every Friday, last Friday of the month, we do Performance Friday, where we would get up and play in front of our peers. And this individual would get up. It was wonderful. A lot of you would get up and you would play for each other, and it was just a fun time. And this young person, the perfectionist that she is, would do the same material the next week, and it was like she just really wanted to get it perfect. Whether it was singing or playing the piano, jazz piano, or a pop tune, she's a show sharing with everybody. She's an extremely wonderful musician. You see her on the Zooms. She's got all the different musical instruments that she plays, but not the piano up on the wall. And it's just a joy to be teaching her this past 4 years, as well as all of you. And there's just one point, I'm going to steal the microphone for a second. I got really angry during COVID because the media kept saying, oh, the poor kids, they're living with COVID. I'm old enough to be the youngest of parents that lived through the Great Depression, and that generation rose to be what's called the greatest generation because they went through World War II and they saved the world. You are the next greatest generation that is coming, and what you're going to be able to do is just phenomenal. And I'm going to turn the stage over to Mrs. Riley. Oh, Richardson.
Thank you, Mrs. Slocum. Hey, dudes. Hi. Okay, so back to the Special Recognition for Fine Arts Award. All set? I have been involved with this student both on the stage in theater as well as in select chorus. She has this year, instead of doing a select course, because we weren't able to do that, we did an online club called The Voice. And this student participated in The Voice. She took every direction. She grew so much over the year, and she wrote and performed original works. She is a leader. She is an artist in every sense of that word. So this year's Fine Arts Award goes to Chloe Arroco.
The next award is called the McCarthy Cares Award. At McCarthy Middle School, we have cultivated a caring spirit. It is summed up with a simple slogan, McCarthy Cares. In normal years, we annually collect over 20,000 food items for our Project 300 drive. This is a drive that started some 42 years ago with the realistic goal of collecting 300 food items. It has become the biggest school-based food drive of its kind. This year, despite being in a hybrid model, living with certain limitations the pandemic placed upon us, we still hit our goal of 15,000 food items this year. We also take on other community service initiatives such as Coats for Kids and other clothing drives for those in need. We sing and perform at local nursing homes. Our students and school community rise to the occasion over and over again. To quote one of our own staff members, "No rest, McCarthy, no rest." At this time, I would like to invite up Mr. Sullivan to present our Community Service Award.
All right. I don't know how he did it. I really don't. We were locked down in the grips of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, and he's out collecting cans. It did not matter to him. He realized that, especially during these difficult times, people were in need of help, and he answered the call. Gallagher challenged, and he accepted. Because of his efforts, and those of his sister, they were able to take care of so many people during the holiday season. He's a role model for his classmates and eased the suffering of so many. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Sam Oakes.
At this time, I'm going to invite the team teachers back up to this area to give out the team awards.
All right. Okay, so as a team, the four of us, we value academic achievement, but also so much more. We look at students who are well-rounded and embody everything that we value. Our Teammate 1 Special Recognition Award goes to a student who does embody everything that is important to us. She is hardworking, responsible, mature, trustworthy, kind, and isn't afraid to ask questions. During the challenges faced this year, she remained focused, and her motivation never wavered. It is actually really bittersweet for us to have her move on to high school because we would have loved more time with her in our classrooms. She is well respected by everyone around her, and it was, for us, unanimous that this student was worthy of our team award. It is an honor to give this award to an absolute superstar. Trinity, you are awesome. Come get your award.
Okay, for our Teammate 1 Award in Academic Excellence, this student's effort has been outstanding all year. Consistency across all core classes was extremely difficult considering the circumstances, but she was up to the challenge. Some days students were remote, some days in person, but she continued to excel no matter what obstacle was put in front of her. She was responsible for her actions, never made excuses, and completed all her assignments in a timely manner. Exceedingly kind, with a positive attitude, she is a role model for her peers and will continue to excel in high school. But perhaps, and most importantly, the female teachers on Teammate 1 are envious of her hair braiding skills. I repeat, that is the female teachers that are envious of her hair braiding skills. Regardless, it is an honor to give the Teammate 1 Academic Excellence Award to Maya Nice.
Thank you. Oh, I can't read this. I have my own Secret Service behind me. This student has earned the respect of each of her teachers. She's an excellent communicator and has shown exceptional determination to succeed this year, whether learning in person or remotely. She is respectful, kind, empathetic, and responsible. It is with great pleasure to award the Team Awesome 8-2 Special Recognition Award to Kay Doherty. This dynamic duo have impressed all their teachers with their drive and intellectual curiosity. They are outstanding writers and always go above and beyond to complete every assignment with exceptional attention to detail. They are responsible, self-disciplined, dedicated, thoughtful, and reflective. They have made learning remotely all year seem easy peasy lemon squeezy, and even though they were at home, it felt like they were right there with us in class. We're happy to award the Team Awesome 8-2 Academic Excellence to Anisha and Akil Dantam.
Great job, guys.
Congratulations. High five.
Hi, everybody. Our team would like to give special recognition to a student who we could always count on to be right there exactly when our Google Meet class would start, camera on, ready to go. She always did her assignments on time and exactly how we wanted her to do things, and asked questions when she needed to, and just all around, we thought was such a special student during a time that was so difficult for so many. And she was a really hard worker and just did everything that she needed to do despite the circumstances. and being fully remote for the entire school year for the student as well. So our special recognition award we'd like to give to Gia, and I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm not even going to try to say it. Okay, our next award, Special Recognition in Academic Excellence, goes to a student who, again, across the board, just did so well in all of his classes and was such a pleasure to have as a student. Loved to participate in class and ask really thought-provoking questions, and always excelled in all of his assignments with all of his teachers. And I think that all of us share the sentiment that we will miss the student a lot next year and can't wait to see what he does in the future.
Ms. McCormick, if you can come to the main office. Ms. McCormick to the main office. Thank you.
So our special recognition in academic excellence goes to Sam Rodriguez.
Sam, well done.
All right, everybody. I got to just pause for a second. You guys have been excellent. This is a long ceremony, but it's coming to a close. We're ending up with our final two kind of school-wide awards. The first is called the Principals Award. Each year, 1 or 2 students are recognized as a Principals Award. In order to qualify for this award, a student should follow classroom and school rules, have good attendance, put forth their best effort in their schoolwork, be respectful of others and themselves, be respectful of school property, and demonstrate leadership qualities. Recipients have their name engraved on a plaque that will be displayed in the main lobby of the school. This year we have 1 Principals Award recipient. I would like to read a few comments made by staff members regarding the Principals Award recipient. This student is dedicated, exceptional, and an enthusiastic learner. The student strives for excellence in all pursuits and is kind, helpful, and an amazing leader within our school community. This student is especially helpful to teachers when they were struggling with technology issues, which he has been a lifesaver over this last year. He is exceptionally respectful towards peers, teachers, and everyone he interacts with. He has been a valuable member of the Science Olympiad team and has been an invaluable mentor with the younger students. He is so respectful when sharing his knowledge. He elevates everyone and is an excellent role model when correcting others because he does it in a positive way. This young man was Chelmsford representative to the governor's Project 351 and ran our Cradles to Crayons clothing drive. Congratulations to our Principals Award recipient, Pranav Aburi. Now I would like to turn the microphone over to Assistant Principal, Mrs. Calabrese, who will present the last award of the ceremony and close out today's ceremony. Mrs. Calabrese.
The next award is very special to our McCarthy community. For a number of years, the McCarthy community was fortunate to have Mr. Steve Murray's presence in the building. He was always positive, always smiling, and always involved in the happenings at McCarthy. As Mr. Murray was leaving us years ago to pursue his principalship, The decision was made to recognize 1 or 2 students in Mr. Murray's honor. For those who are not aware, Mr. Murray is currently the principal of Chelmsford High School. The criterion for the Stephen P. Murray Spirit Award is simply a student who displays positive school spirit and enthusiasm on a daily basis. This year, we have 1 outstanding 8th grader who is more than deserving of this recognition. Here are a few things I have come to enjoyably learn about this student. This outgoing teenager comes to school enthusiastically, ready and eager and prepared to learn. You will always find a bright smile on his face. You might even call it a permagrin. This teen's sense of humor is unmatched. We have enjoyed the fact that this person not only gets the joke, but can also give it out in a respectable way. When living McCarthy life remotely, this student knocked it out of the park with participation and was a remote rock star. Our award winner is the embodiment of being inclusive. If you're not familiar, inclusive means there's always room for one more. In fact, there is not one classmate that this winner does not get along with. And finally, and maybe the most notable, this 8th grade student has shown the McCarthy family what having great sneaker sense is all about. You know him, we love him. Our heartfelt congratulations goes out to Justin Buckley. As we close this morning's assemblies, I would like to leave you all with a few words from our classmate Charlie, who wrote the following poem last year in 7th grade. As you walk out to the rough, rocky shores, and the sun dips into a calming scarlet shade, for the last wave of seagulls flies by to start darting into the unknown. With the shore darkening by the minute to go from blue to dark gray, just as the moon is reaching up to the sky and to yank on the fading clouds. As it is now time for the sun to take a rest, and now it is time to bolt back. Back up the rocky hill, back to the car, back to where you came, then you too can rest. Charlie Camillo. May your young spirit eternally shine. Forever in our hearts, we remember. Because Charlie is forever in our hearts, we will remember him by leaving his yearbook out for you to sign. And we plan on delivering his yearbook to his parents with all of your signatures and messages. In the spirit of your classmate Charlie, be good to each other. Summer is here. Some of you will see a lot of each other, and some of you will not. And that is okay, because you all have that McCarthy connection. Whether you bump into one another at a sports field, at Sully's, or on Snapchat, respect that connection and be good to one another. Lastly, I hope that high school treats you well. It's going to be a bumpy experience, I'm not going to lie. But there will be moments that will happen to you that will be amazing. Cherish those times and make the most of it. After all, those 4 years will go by so quickly that you won't even remember the bumps. Mr. McPhee, your outstanding 8th grade teachers, and myself wish all of you the best of luck, and we hope that you show your fellow peers how awesome you really are. Thank you. At this time, everyone, I want to thank you for your patience as we went through our schedule of this assembly. At last, the ice cream social is set up. You may walk across to the cafeteria and enjoy.